Final whistle, guys. Cam will be joined with us very, very shortly. I promise you guys, it's not just 8 p.m. in Europe. Cam will be here in a second. He's having some technical difficulties, so we'll add him in a second. For now, though, you're stuck with me. And guys, what a show we got coming up for you guys. Obviously, 4 excellent Champions League games that we got to witness the last few days. Manchester City beating Bayern Munich. We will touch on that. We'll touch on a few of those players. We will touch on Inter Milan, my Inter, beating Benfica yesterday. And of course, the games today. Manchester City. Chelsea losing to Real Madrid, and AC Milan coming away with a 1-0 win, going back to Napoli next week. But it is narrow. Where do you guys want to start, though? Before we do, of course, guys, make sure you like the video. Make sure you guys subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Hey, if anyone is looking for Champions League talk or football talk during this busy football period, because look, the games are coming thick and fast. Finals, semifinals, quarterfinals. Let them know that this is the place to be. But I think the only place that we should be starting here is really Real Madrid versus Chelsea. Because a few weeks ago, this tie just looked so different. It looked like Graham Potter would be leading Chelsea to the Bernabeu in a season where, although they've been really bad in the league, in the Champions League, they've been really good. They beat Dortmund convincingly, in my opinion. They didn't look like they had any problem with them. And we've seen them go to the Bernabeu, of course, with Thomas Tuchel in the past, and compete. But they enter this game with Frank Lampard, bro. And Cam will be here to defend his man, because Cam is the only person that was happy to see Frank Lampard return to Chelsea. And it's a bit of Cam, you back or no? Yeah, you guys still having technical difficulties. 1 second. Yeah, like I was saying, I mean, look, now it's Frank Lampard leading Chelsea back into the Champions League, and it was never going to end well, was it, guys? Oh, there we go. Cam, they asked you to rise. You have rose.
What's my mic saying? Is the mic moving mad or what?
It's good. It's good.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, man. You know, I just got some technical.
Oh, they're mocking you, bro.
You got to work with, you know what I mean? What's going on?
I'm good, bro. Are you good?
I'm good, man. I'm good. What's going on, man?
Nah, it's good. But, I mean, we were really starting with Real Madrid versus Chelsea, but I guess, yeah, welcome. What were your overall thoughts? Because like I was saying, this is your guy, Frank Lampard. This was your appointment. You were very happy to see the return of Frank Lampard to Chelsea. And so far, it's 2 games, 2 poor performances, and 2 losses.
Bro, I mean, first and foremost, you're acting like I said Lampard is a top manager and he's going to transform Chelsea. That's just my guy. Love the player. So I'm gonna continue to support him, you know what I mean? Defend him, back him. Hopefully it turns around. But I don't even think it was that bad today. I think Chelsea had a few chances. You think it was that bad, yeah?
Yeah, Chelsea it was for me. For me, that was an awful performance, bro.
What did you expect from Chelsea at the Bernabeu?
I mean, I've seen them twice at the Bernabeu in the last 2 seasons. Okay, one of them was at the training ground, but the last 2 times I've seen Chelsea away to Real Madrid, they've been great.
Chelsea are 11th.
Yeah, no,
what did you expect from this Chelsea at the Bernabeu?
I expect the mentality of former champions, of a once great team. I saw United under Moyes. They went to Bayern, and for a bit, they you know what? They connected some punches for a little while, man. Today, I felt I was weak. I felt like Vinicius could have scored 4 today. He destroyed Reece James, who's supposed to be a top right back, and he is in my eyes. But I just thought it was like from front to back from Chelsea. I thought it was a poor, timid, uninspiring performance from guys who didn't look like they believed they could win this game.
I mean, Felix broke through in the first half, right?
Yeah, and for me that Felix move, Cam, probably summed up Chelsea's performance, because they sent him through. That's a huge opportunity within 2 minutes for Chelsea to take a lead that no one expected them to, and he didn't look convinced going through on goal a single second of that move, bro. A single second.
Yeah, the thing is, Felix isn't clinical. That's the thing about him. Felix isn't clinical at all. Like, he does good things in a game, but he's not clinical at all in the areas where you need to be decisive. He's not decisive. Do you know what I mean? But, I mean, honestly, Sterling had a chance, didn't he? I'm confused. Yeah, no, they drilled it in. Sterling had a chance.
I mean, look, they had chances, right? They weren't. It wasn't the worst performance I've seen from Chelsea all season. But, I mean, like, look, I go back to that Felix chance, right? And this, look, I think everyone can agree that Felix has failed at Chelsea in this tenure. It's been an unsuccessful loan period. And the fact that they want to actually sign him at the end of the season, I'm questioning why, because I don't think that it's really a good fit. But João Felix, I think Thierry Henry made brilliant analysis on that entire move. Through on goal, Militao is obviously has more pace than Felix. He has great recovery pace. But instead of Felix so this is Militao, right? This is Felix. Instead of Felix basically going into Militao's way so that Militao then effectively has to foul him to get to the ball, he basically shows Militao the ball the entire way, making it very easy for Militao to just get his body in front and clear out the danger, or basically push Felix out wide and make the shot more difficult.
Yeah. I mean, as I said, it wasn't a great performance, but honestly, it was better than I thought Chelsea were going to do. I'm not going to lie, especially when they went to 10 men. You thought 10 men, you thought you were going to see 3-4 goals the way Chelsea are. I mean, I get it. You know, it's easy we want to cook Chelsea and stuff, but Chelsea are 11th, man, going to the Bernabeu. I'm not expecting anything from them. And so, in fact, walking away with a 2-0, they can be happy with that. You could be happy walking away with a 2-0 after the way your season is going at the moment and try and see what you could do at the Bridge, even though the Bridge isn't saying nothing this season. Walking away from a 2-0 with a 2-0 at the Bernabeu with the season they're having, I don't think it's that bad. I'm going to be honest, bro. Like, let's be honest. We probably expected 4 goals from Real Madrid. We expected them to get smoked, but they didn't get smoked. They're still in the tie at the end of the day.
They didn't get smoked on the scoreline, bro. Yeah, that could have been 4-5-6 today, bro. Let's be real. I think Real could have scored a few.
What'd you say?
I think Real could have scored a few today, bro. I think that, okay, the scoreline actually flatters them, in my opinion.
Yeah, maybe. But as I said, they'll walk away from this thinking 2-0. It's not that bad, considering how bad we've been this season. It's not that bad. It's literally not that bad. There was some individual poor performances. Let's not get that twisted. Like Reece James, poor. Raheem Sterling, in my opinion, poor. And I feel like there needs to be a discussion a little bit more on Raheem Sterling because Fuad has been on it a lot this season. But, I mean, I know he hasn't played many games, but he's had 30 games. And I can't name a good performance. Even in the games that he scored, I can't really name a good performance. And you look at the impact that Jesus has had on Arsenal. You would think Raheem Sterling, you know, turning 29 this year, leader, highest paid, experienced winner. You would think he would probably come be that guy that Chelsea can look to. But, he's not been a good signing this season. And, you know, people like Anthony and all these guys get all the attention. And Sterling kind of goes under the radar. I'm not going to lie, bro. He's not been good this season at all. But I think Chelsea, there was some individual performance that weren't good. The commentator at the end tried to sneak in, oh, yeah, Enzo's been good today. No, he wasn't, mate. No, he wasn't, mate. You know what I mean? The only person I was really impressed with today was Kante.
Yeah.
I think in the first half, he actually created some... He looked like their best offensive option. Do you know what I mean? He's the only one out of today that I could say good performance. And like it feels like he's the guy, even with all these injuries, he still has something to give. So big credit to him. But everyone else, I wasn't impressed. And listen, stoppage time, I'll do my weekly Enzo report. But today, I wasn't impressed.
Look, I agree with you, to be honest with you. And the talk on the timeline before the game, right, when the lineup came out especially was, bro, you look at this Chelsea team, and on paper, they have a lot of weapons. On paper, right? Of course, football's not played on paper, but they have a strong team. And rightfully so. They paid so much money for all of these players. They should have a strong team. But they're 11th, and they actually play like a team in 11th. It's honestly very bewildering for me because you would think, okay, all it takes is a top manager to come in and really put his stamp on these players, and they should be firing. But you think they've had, in the last 12 months, Thomas Tuchel and Graham Potter, who, okay, his stock has fallen off a cliff now, but before this, it was considered a top manager. So I really don't know what to say about Chelsea, bro. Like, I've never, like you correctly said it the other day, this is the worst top 6 team ever. Like, the biggest underperformance from a top 6 team.
Top 4 team, because, you know,
yeah, top 4. But, like, Arsenal at their worst didn't have the players that Chelsea did and still were better than Chelsea. United at our worst last season didn't have the players that Chelsea did and still finished higher than Chelsea. Liverpool, running around with Aquilani, Dosena, Varonin, never finished 11th, bro. And arguably, it's bewildering to me, bro. It's bewildering to me.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with Chelsea. Like, as you mentioned, with their team on paper, you'd think that they could potentially do something. Like today, it actually looked fairly balanced. Yes, they're missing a proper nine, but it did kind of look fairly balanced. So you're thinking, all right, you know what I mean? Maybe they can not do something. I didn't have faith in them doing something, but I started thinking about next season. And I started thinking, okay, if they get a manager in one game a week, maybe this squad can do something. Do you know what I mean? But when they go out there and you actually watch them play, you're like, well, what is going on with them? Do you know what I mean? What is going on? It's crazy. And then you look at some of their best players as well. The most disappointing thing for Chelsea should be that the best players are not even being the ones where you could be like, oh, they deserve better. As I mentioned, the Raheem Sterlings, Reece James, I don't know if it's since Tuchel left or if it's because of the injuries, but Reece James hasn't been good for quite a long time now. You know what I mean? I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt to maybe have a full preseason again and get fit again. Because you look at James, he's even a big kind of guy. You can tell he's naturally not slim. So maybe it might take him a while to get into things again, and then he gets another knock. So I'm going to give him some leeway. And young players take dips in form, but he was the ever reliable, like, key man. You know what I mean? And when he's dropping down, Kante's injured, Kovacic here and there, the team just haven't got a player or anyone they can look to and be like, do you know what? You're going to at least get us through some games. Even in the worst moments, you have a player that can do that for you. You look at Liverpool teams, they had Gerrard. Now, I'm not saying that he needs to be Gerrard, but you look at the Liverpool teams, they had Gerrard. Arsenal teams, they always still had like a Fabregas or a Van Persie or someone that can get us. Even last season, worst ever season, Cristiano gave us some goals when we needed it, bro, in the Champions League games and stuff. But Chelsea have not one player they can look to, not one to be like, get us through this game. So it's peak for them.
It is peak for them. And it doesn't help also when they play Real Madrid, who every season in, season out, it doesn't matter who's at the helm. It doesn't matter if it's Ronaldo there, Benzema there. It doesn't matter. No matter what they're doing in the league, no matter what they're doing domestically, this tournament, they turn up every single time without fail. And they've done it again tonight, Cam. I mean, again, like I say, this 2-0 for me flatters Chelsea because I think Real Madrid were so far superior today. There were little moments where you could say Chelsea maybe scared them a bit, but I also think Real Madrid dealt with them so expertly. And I think Real Madrid, no one sums them up better than Carvajal for me, because Carvajal in the league looks shambolic. The guy gets skinned by almost every single winger that comes up against him. That's not even an exaggeration. But in the Champions League, the guy just, I don't know, he finds the second wind in him, the second career in him, and he just turns into prime Dani Carvajal. We saw it last year. We're seeing it again this season. And you have so much talent on the pitch, man. Honestly, like, I think the thing that, for me, I love watching about Real Madrid the most is that I'm a huge Ancelotti critic, right? I don't think in terms of like compared to Sir Alex, Mourinho, Pep, he stacks up to them. But in the Champions League, he finds a way of basically creating the setup that allows his best players to just play with freedom. They don't feel basically locked into a system that they have to play a certain way. He just lets them express themselves. And they're all of such high technical level. Every single player at Real Madrid has insanely high technical level. And they display it every single time, from Valverde to Benzema to Vinny. They are just sensational, man. And I have City winning the Champions League, but boy, Madrid, man, you can't write them out, bro.
Bro, I had Madrid all the way up until I went and watched stupid ass Bayern, and then they went and gassed me up, and then they got cooked.
We'll talk about that later.
I'm going back to Madrid, man. I'm going back to Madrid, bro. But nah, honestly, do you know my Madrid are a very interesting team because they're just as dangerous off the ball as they are on the ball. Do you know what I mean? I actually think games where they're not on the ball suit them more in a weird way. Like they counter and they're dangerous, because there was times where Chelsea, when they had the ball and then Chelsea put a ball over the top or something and it was a problem. And I'm like, Madrid being this ball dominant team might not actually suit them today.
Yeah.
But Chelsea are just so poor that they couldn't really do it. But like you think about when they go up against Man City, bro, they're kind of suited to just, we'll sit and we'll wait and we'll pick a moment. Do you know what I mean?
It's been like that though, Cam. No, right? Even in the 3P days, Real Madrid have never been a ball dominant team. They've never been a team that dictates games. They love to suffer, in fact.
Yeah, up their rent in it, so they can grind harder, as you know what I mean. But nah, in all honesty, like this is what Real Madrid do. This is what Real Madrid do. We know they're going to go to the bridge probably and get some goals as well. I'm not concerned about that. It's all about thinking about Real Madrid and the Man City tie now. You know what I mean? That's how I see it. City are not going to lose at the Allianz heavily in any way. So really and truly, we got a. Is this the third time now they've met each other in the Champions League? Man City
versus
and
Real Madrid.
yeah, I think City went through one time.
Fourth, but under Guardiola, it's the third time.
Yeah, exactly. So part 3 of this little battle. So let's see what happens. But yeah, man, I think Real Madrid, we know what they do. Everyone uses the word heritage. It's Real Madrid, man. Do you know what I mean? It's Real Madrid. They're going to do what they need to do. And there were some individual performances from them as well that was impressive. Camavinga got booked in the first half. And you were thinking, ooh, okay, wait, Sterling cooked him a little bit there. And then he still kept his composure, grew into the game. And he's just showing he's got the ability to play left back, can play left CM. He can play in the 6 when he needs to. All round, very, very good young player, man. Very good young player. Benzema doing what he does. Vinny, sometimes it looks like Vinny doesn't even need to get out of his first gear. Do you know what I mean? He just kind of, all right, boom. Then he'll go on to it. So Real Madrid have a lot of weapons. They have experience. They have the one thing I like about Real Madrid the most is that they've got young players, and then they got some senior players as well who are experienced and have won. That blend is perfect, bro. And that's why they're gonna renew Modric, and that's why they're probably gonna renew Kroos. That's all up to Kroos, though, innit? Kroos seems to be someone that he'll retire and you'll never hear or see of him again.
They're also saying that Modric may be interested in going to Al Nassr with Ronaldo, though. They are saying that. I think both of them, it could be their last season or two.
Modric. No, but he came out and said there's no chance. He wants to stay. He wants to stay. Yeah. Modric said that he wants to stay.
I'll hold my hands up, then. Yeah, I heard some rumors.
Yeah, he said that he wants to stay. Like it's always his priority. He wants to stay at Real Madrid. So listen, they've got the mix, and of course we're going to talk about City later. But
yeah,
I feel like they're the only team that can probably stop City. I feel like they are the only team that could probably do something. So, well, now that Bayern are out of the way. So, yeah, man.
I agree, man. Just sticking on to Real Madrid, though, I don't think you can bring up that team anymore without the dynamic duo of Benzema and Vinicius. They're so good, Cam. It's not even just, okay, we know the individual ability that each of them possesses. Benzema, the word I always use, supreme footballer. This guy's IQ and his technical ability and his intelligence and his finish, he's just unbelievable, man. And we're going to talk about another great striker in a bit, but Benzema for me is still the top dog when it comes to that position. I just think he's Rolls Royce. And then Vinny, just every single game grows leaps and bounds. This guy is a fullback's nightmare. People were saying last season, oh, Reece James kind of had the better of him. What can Vinny do? Round 2, he gave Reece James hell. He's given Trent hell. He's given Reece James hell. He is a fullback's nightmare. But the thing is, the two of them together, we know the individual quality. The two of them together have such a brilliant connection that one knows where the other is without even picking up his head. It's telepathic. They know, they read each other so well. And
that's what the best duos do, bro. Yeah. That's what the best duos do. We're going to talk about, as you mentioned, in the next game, but KDB doesn't even have to look 90% of the time to know where Haaland is. You know what I mean? The great duos that we knew of, even going to like duos that probably won't be seen as the great duos, but let's say Sturridge and Suarez, they had some connection where, like, it don't matter where you are on the pitch, they seem to know where each other are and
Cole
stuff.
and York, the same thing, right?
Yeah, bro. Good duos know how to find each other immediately without even thinking about it, and that's what you need. That's why you look at like a team like PSG. You always felt like it was a bit manufactured. It didn't feel like there was like that natural instinct of a duo, you know what I mean? Or trio, whatever. But the best duos and trios, they can just connect effortlessly, bro, seamlessly. So yeah, man. Do you think Vinny is sitting with Haaland and Mbappe, or this young new gen, or is he like just underneath? And because my boy was talking to me and he was like, Camavinga, Vinny, all these names of these young players. And I was like, Vinny's looking down at these guys. Yeah, but is he looking down at them from Mbappe and Haaland's table, or is he looking down at them from a different table?
Look, I was actually thinking that exact same question today. Like watching that game, it actually crossed my mind because Haaland right now, the way it's going, he actually could win the Ballon d'Or this year. I actually deeped it. Like I don't know
Didn't
how
say it's
powerful
either.
this World Cup tax is that if no matter what happens, Messi will win it because he won the World Cup.
No,
But
he's
let's
not.
just say
Messi's
it
not
isn't.
winning the Ballon d'Or.
I don't know, but I would agree that this year, if Haaland wins the Champions League in the league and he's top scorer in both of them, yeah, he should win the Ballon d'Or. But he's a goal scorer, right? So he's always going to score more goals than Vinicius. But Vinicius, I think, has 35 GAs in all competitions this year. He's Real Madrid's main man. Don't get it twisted. He's one of the best players in the world. I'm tired of hearing Vinny, like you said, in the conversations, the likes of Camavinga or Pet. No, bro, this is a superstar. He arguably could be a top 5 player in the world. So in my opinion, yeah, I would say he sits next to Mbappe and Haaland. Now, how you have that rank, that's up to you. But I think he sits at that table with them for sure.
Yeah, and the thing about it is that he performs through 90 minutes a lot of the time. You know what I mean? He performs through 90 minutes. So even talking about 35 or 38 GA, whatever it is, it's not even something where you need to be like, oh, that justifies how good he's playing. He plays well without the GA as well. Do you know what I mean? So that's what it is. I would say, you know, I always have Mbappe on the highest table and stuff. But when I say table, I don't mean, oh, because you're on the table, you're now better than Mbappe or whatever. You could still be on somebody's table and they're better than you, 100%. Yeah. But I'm just saying, is he sitting in that conversation? That's what it is. Is he in that conversation? I think you can start thinking about putting him there. Honestly, the only thing we can say is that, what can people say? Even somebody will say, oh, you can't, he doesn't lead a team or whatever. But we've seen him do well for Real Madrid without Benzema. So it's like, Brazil, okay, he hasn't done it. He didn't do well for Brazil. So maybe that's the question marks. But the way he terrorizes fullbacks, the way he entertains us, the way he can score, he can assist. Bro, he's a joy to watch, man. And there's not many entertainers in football. I'm not saying he's Ronaldinho, but he genuinely, you actually want to watch this guy play football. And that's a credit in this day and age.
I think that counts. It definitely counts for something, bro. The guy is one of the rare players, like we always talk about, Cam. Being able to combine excellent 90-minute performances with high goal output is very rare. Only the best players ever are able to combine the two without sacrificing one. And Vinicius gives you that entertainment, keeps you on your feet, rips his defender apart for 90 minutes, but still gets you goals and assists to be effective. So
how would you feel, if right now Vinny got up and went to PSG?
If he went to PSG right now?
If he got up and went to PSG right now, what would you feel?
I would feel weird. Oh, because it's a downgrade, and B, because this is his team. For me, I told you, Real Madrid is his team.
I think it's a terrible move, right?
No, but I know you're going to try and compare it to the Neymar move, right?
But this was the difference. It's the worst move ever. It's the worst move ever.
But this is, whether you think that or not, the reason I think it's much different is because I told you even a few weeks ago, bro. I think this is Real Madrid is Vinny's team now. I think he's the best player on the team, bro.
Yo, there was a moment when Neymar was moving
when Messi was out the team.
When the team
whatever you think about that, I would also I would think it's a poor decision for Vinny to go. I think it's Vinny leaving Real Madrid, period. Because you always say, okay, Neymar, he might be able to leave Barcelona, but to go to PSG is a downgrade. Vinny leaving Real Madrid, anywhere he goes, he's declining, or he's taking a step down in his career.
There we go, bruv. That's all I'm saying, innit? Like, when you're at the pinnacle,
you stay
that's
there.
all I'm saying. It'll be stupid, just like it was for Neymar. But hey, today's not about Neymar anyway. But we move.
Yeah, no, he's been out of this competition. So yeah, that's Real Madrid, bro. I mean, it looks like they got one foot in the next round, as the title says, and heritage pays. And kind of leading on to the next game that we saw today, in the spirit of heritage, a team that we haven't seen at this stage in the competition for quite a long time, Cam. In fact, the last time I think Milan were in a quarterfinal of a Champions League was maybe against Barca in 2014. The last time they were in a semifinal, which it looks like they could very well be, was 2007 against us. It's been a long-ass time for Milan, but they came into this game against Napoli, who we've all raved about all season. They've been terrific. They are steamrolling Serie A, basically winners, everything but mathematically. And yet it's Milan who take away a 1-0 lead in this game. Obviously, Napoli don't have Victor Osimhen, so we were kind of looking again at that I don't want to call it rivalry, but that matchup between Leao and Kvaratskhelia. I think that's what both people had their eyes on. And I don't think either of them came out on top, to be honest with you. I don't think either of them had their greatest game. But Milan, my guy, Ismail Benacer, 1-0, going to the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona with a 1-0 lead. And I think it's deserved, to be honest. Although What I will say is without Mike Maignan in goal, I don't know where Milan would be, bro. I think he's actually their most valuable player. People talk about Leao, people talk about Theo Hernandez. I think Mike Maignan is the best player at AC Milan, in my opinion.
Fair enough, man. He looks like a top goalkeeper. He does look like a top goalkeeper. And when he was out, you could feel that they kind of just start dropping in it when he was out of the team. You know what I mean? Came back in, and it looks like it's improving. But hey, listen, you always say the word heritage in the Champions League. Yeah, I mean, you always say who's been there, who's done that. And remember when we spoke about Napoli, I said they're gonna come up against a team and it might go flat. We always have a team. We always have a team every single season. Now the tie is not over, but I've seen enough to know that Napoli are not winning the Champions League. I already knew that from the jump anyway, but I've seen enough that they will not win the Champions League. There's always that team, the Dortmunds, the Atletico Madrid. There's always a team where everyone falls in love with. They're cute, they're nice, doing something different than we expect. And then when it comes down to it, real men rise. Do you know what I mean? The real teams rise. And AC Milan, they shouldn't be losing to AC Milan. I don't care if Osimhen's out or not. You're walking away with the league, and you're going into the Champions League, Osimhen or not, and losing to AC Milan. I don't rate it, bro. You know what I mean? I don't rate it. And everyone's gonna say, "Oh, Osimhen's so key to their system." Hold on a second. You guys, everyone was talking about how dynamic, how fast, everyone just moving in different positions, Spalletti ball. And now it's, do you know what? It's because Osimhen's not playing. You know, they thrive off the Osimhen system. I'm not really trying to hear that excuse. You know what I mean? You miss players, and they just didn't rise for me. You know what I mean? Kvara was trying his little thing, trying to dribble, but he was getting clamped every single time. He was getting clamped. You know what I mean? Maybe he needed Osimhen himself, but yeah, no, I'm not impressed.
Me personally, look, I still think Napoli will actually progress out of this tie. You might as well too. I think you're more so talking about going forward. Do they have what it takes to win the Champions League?
They ain't beating no Man City. They ain't beating no Real Madrid, man.
I would say so too, because it's kind of like you said, like, I don't want to say Napoli are a naive team, but teams like that in competitions like this, it's quite often that you see teams with extremely strong defensive mentalities that end up going far in these competitions. And these teams that play this free-flowing, beautiful football, you look at Manchester City the last few years, they're the best team in Europe, in my opinion. Every single time they fall up short because of their defensive frailties or just because of their naiveness in terms of holding on to leads and playing ugly football sometimes to win games. I think in the Champions League, that's extremely invaluable. And that's not to say Napoli can't defend, but I just think against a team like Milan, bro, they may have met their match, to be honest, because you look at the games that they've played against them this season. The first game, I think Napoli narrowly beat them 2-1. The last game, we know they lost 4-0. Today, they lose 1-0, even though, to be honest with you, Cam, I think they did get a little bit of help from the ref. I think the ref helped out Milan a bit today.
Bro, the Kim booking is the most ridiculous thing I've seen well, it's actually not the most ridiculous thing I've seen in a long time, because I've seen stuff in the Prem just most recently.
Yeah.
But, bro, come on, what is football becoming, bro? What is that? Do you know what I mean? Was he actually, I don't know, bro. It's like he was choking under the pressure of being in the San Siro. I don't know. But he was just over happy with the bookings. Bro, it felt like he booked like 10 man today. Yeah. I'm like, bro, can you chill out, bro? It's a Champions League quarterfinal. We want to see the best players in the next leg. I hate when referees do that, bro. Hate it, bro. Because you can't even rescind the yellow.
It's true.
Can't even rescind the yellow.
What I will say, though, is I don't like in the comment section how people are saying, oh, Napoli are a myth, and casuals rated this Napoli team, or Kvaratskhelia, the first time people are watching him and he chokes. Like, look, this is the problem with the Champions League sometimes, where these foreign teams play, because people will see a team one time all season and basically make their judgment based on their game. And sometimes they'll see something that's amazing and they'll hype it up because it's the first time they see it. And then sometimes they'll also see that team basically choke or that team not play well, and they'll make all of their judgments based on that too. So I don't think we should basically completely write off Napoli's season because of a poor 90 minutes. Like, guys, they're
about to win the league.
Playing in Serie A for a reason, bro. They've beat teams like Liverpool are not great this year, but they demolished Liverpool. They were the first team to really show Liverpool up this year. So let's not be too hasty, guys.
They're about to win the league for the first time since Diego. Is it?
Yeah. Maradona.
So I'm not even gonna diss them too much. As I said, it's just these teams that entertain the world. then eventually all their players are going to get raided. I mean, it happens, innit? It always happens. Just like Monaco, all these teams, somebody comes, impresses everybody, and then eventually the real teams show out. You know what I'm trying to say? And I'm not saying AC Milan are a real team. They should still be going through. But now with Kim out and Anguissa, that's 2 parts of their core.
It's big.
That it might not be ideal for them. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, I wouldn't start saying, yeah, Napoli this, Napoli that. But listen, every horse runs its race, and let's talk about Kvara because I feel like everybody was talking about him today. I don't get people. The reason why I don't get people is that, like, everyone was expecting me to be like, people were messaging me say, "Yo, Cam, I'm waiting for that Kvara hype tweet," and I'm just like, "But you lot are crazy, yeah," because. You lot are crazy. Let me tell you, first and foremost, I didn't know Kvara in the start of the season. Do you know what I mean? I wrote to people, who's the gems that are coming out? And a lot of people vote Kvara. So I was like, all right, I'm going to watch him. From what I see of Kvara, every time I watch him, he looks like a player that takes people on, can create. He plays off his striker. He gets assists off his striker. But he doesn't strike me as somebody that the chips are down. Kvara's gonna win me the game. Like, he's a goal scoring. No, he doesn't strike me as someone like that. So people were hyping him for how he's like old school winger, takes people on and gets to the byline and does his best work over there. And then now in this game, where clearly AC Milan were doubling up on him, sometimes tripling up, that even when he went past them, there was one more man to slide tackle him. Now it's like Kvara hype and stuff. I don't get that, bro. He doesn't strike me as that player that's going to lead a team by himself on his back.
Yeah.
I'm not really with that one today.
I agree, to be honest with you. Again, Kvaratskhelia is not a guy who's a good example. He's not Vinicius, for example, who's effectively just going to break defenses apart and go through one and score 30 goals a season.
It took Vinny a while to get there, bro.
That's also true too. Yeah. Kvaratskhelia.
Vinny woke up like this. Vinny did not wake up like this, bro.
No, but also, like, Vinny didn't wake up like this, but also it's fair to say Vinny is a supreme talent. Not to say that Kvaratskhelia isn't great himself, but not everyone is Vinny. Not everyone is Mbappe. It's like we were just talking about. Not everyone can combine high output with brilliant 90-minute performances. It's not for everyone. That's fine. Kvaratskhelia does not have to be that kind of player, at least definitely not yet. So I think that's also the problem with Twitter, right? They're just waiting at this point. I'm sure everyone was watching the Chelsea versus Real Madrid game, just waiting for their phone to buzz, Sofa score, say Kvaratskhelia 1-0. And when he doesn't score, when he doesn't assist, he must have played poorly. So that's another thing too.
That's what I'm not going to lie, though. That's one thing I do like, though. Not like, but it's funny. Like, as I tweeted on our post, hey, UCL knockout round surveillance it's funny. It's fun. So I feel like that's what everyone's on. You get to see the players you don't see regularly. And then you look at it and you're like, okay, you know what I mean? Maybe he's a bit of a bum, but listen,
you're a hater, because me, I look at the Champions League a different way. I watch the Champions League to see players I don't normally watch. I'm like, let me appreciate, let me unearth some new gems. This guy's like, yeah, who's a bum? Who's the Thailand?
I'm here to watch the names that have been overhyped, and I'm here to watch the stars. Can please rise? That's all I'm here to watch the Champions League.
It's true. Bro. The Champions League is the league of the stars. I always do say that. They define this competition. But I will say, Kvaratskhelia wasn't great today. Some people were trying to kind of do the opposite and say, oh, he had this amazing, there was nothing he could do. He did everything he could. He was missing his best player. He wasn't great today, guys. That's fine. Kvaratskhelia doesn't have to give me a 10 out of 10 performance every single day. He didn't do enough for me today.
You got to find your way. You know what I mean? Like, Kvara right now, maybe he's not a player that without Osimhen and without the team fully functioning is going to drag you through games. You know what I mean? He's young. You're still going to be learning different things. Like, in basketball, they say you got to learn how to run different schemes or whatever. You're going to play against different schemes. There comes a time where he went from second option to first option today. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, man are on him straight away. Yeah, I'm trying to say, so he's going to have to learn through these moments. This could be something that turns him into a beast in the future. Do you know what I mean? Who knows? But Vinny didn't wake up like this, bro. That's what I'm going to say. So we need to go easy on him.
Absolutely. I also see a lot of Arsenal fans. Those are the ones who have been on to Leao and Kvaratskhelia recently because they don't like their wingers being compared to these two. Their whole thing is, we have Martinelli and we have Saka, and they don't get the hype that Kvaratskhelia and Leao do because they play in Serie A and no one really watches them, and their bad performances don't get highlighted a lot. So I've noticed Arsenal fans, especially today, were doing overtime, basically trying to compensate for that. I'm onto them, to be honest with you. They can't fool me, bro.
That's crazy.
Milan, anything that impressed you from them today?
From Milan. To
Yeah.
be fair, I just rate how they took the assignment. I actually thought when they went to 10 men, they should have went harder to try and get that second goal. I feel like they kind of like coasted once they got to 10, and that was disappointing. Do you know what I mean? There was a chance as well earlier at Leao. I know everyone talks about Leao. Leao, you know what Leao is. He's a good dribbler. He's got pace. And as they say, they got pace and power. He's got that. But I still think when he gets the ball, generally, his touches and stuff, it's a little bit. But there was a time when he got through, broke through, and I think he should have got that shot on target, bro. Good run, strong, fast, got past them easily, and then I think he should have finished that chance. Yeah, I mean, but he was definitely, for me, probably the better out of the two, out of him and Kvara today. He looked a threat, but it's just about putting all the pieces together. But with him, obviously, he's young, you know what I mean? But I think AC Milan overall today, they handled the job and weren't there at home, so it's easier, but they didn't get overawed in the situation. Funny enough, even though they're a club who have a team who haven't been there, they felt like they have been there before. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy when you said when was the last time AC Milan have 2014 or something? Did you say?
Yeah, 2013 or 2014, bro.
It felt like this crop of players have been there. That's the most impressive thing. But obviously the second leg is still where it's at, and the tie's not over. 1-0 with 10 men. You gotta be trying to get that to 2, man.
Yeah, no, but I feel what you mean when you say, "Oh, the team feels like it's been here before." I almost feel like the stadium, the fans, they're the ones who almost make it feel like this team has been there before, because the way that stadium bounces, the way it roars when they even get a corner kick, that stadium is legendary. And I keep telling you, bro,
I want them through.
I want Inter AC in the semifinals, bro, and me and you are going to that game, bro, for sure.
Yeah,
because
bro,
that stadium,
that'll be lit.
I call it the cathedral of football, right? That is an unbelievable atmosphere over there. I want to give flowers to one player. Obviously, if you guys didn't miss it, we already talked about Mike Maignan. I think he's actually a top 3 goalkeeper in the world. I think it's Alisson, him, and Courtois. I think he's absolutely outstanding, complete goalkeeper. I'd love him at my club. But the player for me that really surprised me today, because I think sometimes he gives you glimpses, sometimes it's a bit frustrating. I thought Brahim Diaz today was really, really good. I don't know if you see the goal that Benacer scores, but for me, that's all Brahim Diaz. Basically, bursts past 3 Napoli players, which I don't know why they were all basically crowding him at once, because if they fail, they leave so much space in behind, which they did. But he showed really good close control there, burst, gets himself into a good position, kind of helps in the entire goal for Benacer to score. But I just thought he was a lively point for Milan all night. And you can kind of see this is a guy that was in City's academy. Now he's a Real Madrid player technically. He's definitely got quality to him that I think Milan at times, they do sometimes miss that individualism. And I thought he gave it to them today.
Yeah, no, I agree. He's always been neat. Brahim Diaz, he's always been neat on the ball, calm. Again, a lot of times just about players putting their pieces together, bro. Do you know what I mean? And AC Milan has been a good loan for him in general. He's on loan, innit? He's on loan, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So AC Milan, I thought, no way is he gone on a permanent. But yeah, AC Milan's been a good loan for him. And listen, you see little players like that, Real Madrid shouldn't be so quick to try and sell. Do you know what I mean? Look what Odegaard. I know they would be. I know they could do with a little Odegaard this season. I know they would. Do you know what I mean? It's about putting the pieces together, man. So talent always, cream always rises to the top in it. And if you're a good player, if you got the talent, which he has, it's just about putting it together. So let's see what he does, man. But yeah, good performance today. I agree.
Absolutely. Like I said, I still think Napoli will progress, but we will see how it goes on next time. 1 goal lead for AC Milan. As we move on to yesterday's action, Cam, we'll start with the main game of actually the entire quarterfinal, not just yesterday, but the entire quarterfinal, Manchester City versus Bayern Munich, a tie that, look, we gave our predictions last week. You had Bayern Munich winning the whole thing. I had Manchester City winning the whole thing. I think they have 2 of the best squads in the tournament, but it didn't feel like it yesterday. It felt like only one team was really playing. Manchester City walking away 3-0, commanding performance, dominant performance from Manchester City, that is. And from Bayern, honestly, one of the worst performances I've ever seen from a Bayern Munich team, in my opinion. Scared, cowardly, on the ball, poor. I can't think of more than maybe 2 more than decent performances from them. Really disappointing from Bayern Munich. And actually, I walked away thinking from that game, how bad are PSG? Because they made these guys look like world class, bro. Bayern Munich were awful yesterday.
I actually don't know what was wrong with Bayern Munich. First and foremost, Etihad on the Champions League now is peak.
25 games unbeaten now, right?
Yeah,
25 straight wins in the Champions League.
Yeah, 25 unbeaten, I believe it is. So Etihad on the Champions League now is mad. And the thing is, I was in Manchester, not going to say why, but I was in Manchester on the day, and I was speaking to a lot of City fans at the ground. I was speaking to Bayern Munich fans as well, just as they were passing by. And I was speaking to the City fans, and the City fans were just so confident, bro. So confident. Oh, yeah, we're going to win today. Tough, but we're going to win. And I was just like, yeah, they're in their groove. You know what I mean? They believe that everyone's pushing in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? So Etihad is peak, but I didn't expect Bayern to be that poor. No way. I didn't think they were going to win the game today, but I thought they were going to go into the second leg with a possibility to turn it around at the Allianz. This tie is over, bro. This tie is over. They got blown away. City off the ball, excellent. City on the ball, excellent. They played a 10 out of 10 performance. Do you know what I mean? And City, Bayern, on the other hand, they dropped to 0 out of 10. I don't see how you don't have Thomas Muller out there, by the way. At the Etihad, a player like that, you got to have him out there, man. For me, you got to have him out there. And overall, man, nah, Bayern just didn't have enough. They just didn't have enough to get down City, but City were flawless, bro. And when you're flawless, you can get blown away. And that's what it is, man. City were excellent. Got to give them their credit.
I mean, look,
it's more about City than it is. It's 70-30. It's 70. Yeah. It's 30. Actually, but you think in the first half, Sane should have scored. Sane should have scored. You know what I mean? So, hey, the game it's fine margins in it. But once City go in there.
Look, Manchester City, I picked them this year to win it. And I've actually stayed. I picked them at the beginning, and I've stayed with it the entire time. Even at the start when they were struggling, by the way, right? The beginning of the season. Sorry?
You had PSG at the very start, but we moved.
No, I told you at the start, Cam, the only two teams I don't think PSG can beat are Real Madrid and Manchester City. You go on SDS, my preview that I did, pick Manchester City. I've been with them the whole time. And even when they were actually poor in the beginning of the season. Because although I think it's one of, I don't want to say the worst teams, but I've liked City teams much more than this. The 19 team was better. The 20 or the 18 team was better. Even the team that went to the Champions League final was really damn good. But this year, they have the solidity to them, Cam. And I know now you can obviously see it with they put 4 center backs at the back. But you have those 4 physical beasts. Rodri in front of them, physical beast. Haaland up front, physical beast. I talk about the Champions League and how sometimes you have to basically be willing to win ugly or play a performance that you might not be proud of as a coach, but that gets the job done. And I think far too many times Pep has tried. He's such an idealist normally, Pep, in that he wants to win, but he's so obsessed with perfection that it has to be on his terms. And I think it's shot his team in the foot a few times. Sometimes it's not even his fault, but you look at the game against Real Madrid last year, they should have been, people forget about that, right? People talk about the last 2 goals that Rodrigo scores, but people forget about the fact Manchester City should have been 5-6-0 up overall in that game. They missed so many chances, and then their defense completely collapses at the end. But this year, I don't see those collapses in them in the Champions League, bro. I think with that back 4, with Rodri shielding them, and now with this guy up front who you can keep him quiet for 89 minutes, will always pop up with a goal, and he even popped up with an assist yesterday. I think this might be the most flawless City team. And it's not the best, but it has the least flaws, in my opinion. Defensively, they kill transitions. You saw so many times Akanji and Ake isolated with Leroy Sané or my man on the right, Coleman. They locked them up, bro. Akanji, I'm not a big fan of him. I actually think Akanji defensively played damn near a flawless game. He had a little blunder in the beginning, but I thought he was flawless the rest of the game. So I think City this year, bro, it's theirs to lose. I honestly think that I think a treble, honestly, is the concern for a lot of teams because the way it's going in the league, the way it's going in the Champions League, FA Cup, they got a great draw in the semifinal. They look bang on for the treble this year, bro.
Yeah, I don't know about the most flawless team. I do agree that they are set up well. I do agree they're set up well to win this Champions League. When you have Haaland, this is what you bring Haaland in for, first and foremost. Now, I'm not saying it was all Haaland yesterday, but the City players look ready. They understand what they need to do. But I wouldn't say it's the most flawless team because just 5 weeks ago, we're saying no pace on the wings. You know what I mean? They can't they're not direct enough on the wings and all this type of stuff. So I won't turn around now and say this is the most flawless Man City team. I still think they had a more flawless team when they had the 18-19 team, for example. I think that was their most flawless team. However, this team is set up potentially for Europe because Akanji, big guy, Ake, aggressive guy, Diaz, big guy, John Stones, big guy. They're actually City are not like small anymore. They can mix it, and they showed yesterday off the ball. We will mix it with anyone now. Do you know what I mean?
Damn, that was a better defensive performance from City than it was an offensive performance. And how often do you ever say that about Manchester City?
Yeah, they strangled Bayern Munich. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't really think it's their most complete side, but you can probably say maybe it's their most suited to win the Champions League. But can we even say that again? They've been to Champions League final, they've had blunders in certain moments, but maybe because defensively in the Champions League with the 4 CBs and the way he's found solutions to protect, maybe you can say they're most suited for the Champions League, but I definitely don't think this is their most flawless team. I can't agree with that.
Fair enough. I also think, bro, the reason I bet them in the Champions League, bro, I keep going back to that tie against Real Madrid last year, man. They went through on goal 6-7 times, 1v1. Sometimes they even rounded Courtois and had an open goal. And they just couldn't finish their chances. This year, man, with this kid up front, it's not happening, bro. Like that kid will not, Haaland will not leave a game with those kinds of chances without scoring one of them, bro. It's inevitable at this point.
He'll probably score a goal in every single tie. In every single
scoring goals, I think at a 25-minute rate right now, bro. Every 25 minutes, I think he's scoring a goal.
Oh, because that five goals, 8.
It's crazy, bro.
That was a meal. Still, that was a meal. Nah, 100%. Haaland will probably score a goal home and away in every single tie. That's the funny thing. So they've got one goal at least. They got one goal in them at least. But overall, it was a good performance from City, man. Like
I think the 1-2 that we haven't even talked on, bro. Oh, Bernardo was great. Yeah,
bro. Alphonso Davies made Bernardo look like I ain't seen Bernardo take on so many people in my life. You know what I mean? Yeah. But overall, this is what I like about City. It's just the technical level of Man City. You know what I mean? They got John Stones, who's unbelievable. I don't need to talk about him anymore. But because he's so technically good, you can play in various positions. I always say it. If you are elite technically, I believe you can play any position on the pitch if you are elite technically. And you look at someone like John Stones, he's showing that. Comes in, it's easy, it's effortless. You know what I mean? Diaz, that block that Diaz made, by the way, unreal.
That's what I wanted to talk about. I thought he was monstrous yesterday.
Yeah, he was top yesterday, bro. That was a real man performance. When I see real man performances, I salute. You know what I mean? I salute. So that was a real man performance from him. And look, he's come in and he's added that kind of steel for the Man City team. Do you know what I mean? That they were maybe lacking when they had Ake, Akanji, and they were rotating and all that. They have Laporte just sitting on the bench doing poems on his flipping story now. Laporte, elite technical ability. What a player, bro. Like, yeah, they got the depth to win this Champions League. Do you know what I mean? They've got the depth, but what can you do? It's hard to mix it up with them at the moment. Ake, as I said, he's given that aggression. Akanji, that aggression. Diaz, that aggression, and then in front of them, just pure calm football players, bro. Like it's nice for them right now.
Man, and Rodri, man. Oh my God, this guy is so good, bro. I keep saying it. You like Casemiro more. I like Rodri more, but those are the two best. And Rodri keeps showing it. Like he's got some big Champions League performances on his resume as well now too. Gundogan was exceptional. De Bruyne. I mean, he came off, and Alvarez even played a good game. Your boy Jack Grealish, I'm surprised you haven't even brought up. Played another great game, bro. Presses Upamecano for I think it was the second or the third. He was linking up well with Ake. I thought Grealish was excellent again yesterday.
It's normal. It's normal. The haters are quiet now. They're turning into fans. Boy. Listen, I ain't gonna say too much, man. Grealish is doing what he's doing, and he's showing that he's good enough to play on this stage. Do you know what I mean? He's good enough to play on this stage. One thing I want to give Ake credit for, actually, because I've never really been the biggest fan of Ake, but this season he's having a good season. But one thing, forget about everything else. His 1v1, like 1v1 ability, it's his top level, bro. It's hard to beat that guy, bro.
Yeah.
1v1.
No, Coleman is one of the best 1v1 dribblers in the world, in my opinion. Like 1v1, he's an excellent winger. Couldn't get by Ake yesterday. In fact, I think Ake even had him switching over to Kanji's side.
He did a job on Saka. I remember he did a job on Saka as well.
Twice now. Twice he's done a job on Saka.
Even grabbed a goal.
Yeah.
Even grabbed a goal against Arsenal as well. Now this guy,
Ake for me, he's not what basically symbolizes City, but City, what makes them so good, in my opinion, is you talk about all their technical levels, you talk about great athletic. They're simple, bro. They play simple, perfect football. And Ake is a simple footballer. He's not a flair. He's not Cancelo. He's not giving you Trivellas into the box, but he's just simple, bro. He just does his job to a high level every single game. Doesn't drop below a 7.
But do you think it will be Pep's long-term plan?
I don't know. Because I could never have imagined Pep playing 4 center backs, bro, on course to Champions League. I could never have imagined it.
Yeah. I don't know if it's Pep's long-term plan. Like, I don't know if that will be his long-term plan. Ake left back or whatever forever, but you got to find solutions. You got to do what you need to do. Do you know what I mean? So big credit to them. But hey, there's some things in this Bayern Munich team that we need to talk about.
So where do you want to start?
Yeah,
I think there's actually only one place to start. Let's address the elephant in the room, bro. It's Upamecano, bro.
Yeah. We will start. We will start on him, right? Your boy, that you be going on as if he's God's gift. Do you know what I mean? You be talking about.
That's a little extreme. Hold on.
No. You be talking about, yo, listen, like he's always been a bit overhated, and
yeah,
you know
I did
what?
say that. That's true.
I've always said that guy's mid, right? But then you got in my ear. You got in my ear a little bit. You know what I mean? I saw at the World Cup. I was like, yeah, he's doing well in the World Cup. I saw the Dortmund game. I was like, okay. And I was like, you know what? Liège is spitting. Please, that was the worst Champions League defensive performance I've at least seen in 10 years. That was a disaster class for the ages. I have never seen a centre-back literally disable his team as much as he did. On the ball, off the ball, he disorientated Bayern Munich so much. And I think he is a big part of why their performance was so bad. He was doing unforced errors, bro, every single time he got the ball. You know, when we talk about Harry Maguire radiates this kind of negative impact sometimes on the team when he's in his worst moments. That was what Upamecano did yesterday, bro. He radiated nerves and just drowned under the pressure. There was a moment, bro, where I dead thought that this guy, is he going through mental issues on the pitch at the moment, bro? Does he want to get out of there? Is he about to, please, because get me out of it? It was a cauldron. He wanted the ground to swallow him up, pause. But so it's just, it's honestly, it's a madness, bro. It was that performance. And you need to defend him because, Jesus, that was a nightmare. I know you were trying to hide in plain sight, bro.
Nah, I think I tweeted it. I said it's Varane-esque, bro. Like, it was, the word I used was kamikaze because, bro, he was literally self-destructing himself. I think the only word you can use is it's like a meltdown, bro. Upamecano, let me talk about Upamecano because you're right. I've been a fan of Upamecano. I've been probably the one giving him his flowers more than anyone because I've always said I think he has really like good qualities to his game, and he obviously has flaws. I've never disputed that, but I think I've always said his flaws overshadow his qualities in the eyes of people. And I think this year he's had a very good season for Bayern and for France in the World Cup. And it's like yesterday is a huge disappointment, bro, because I think all of the good work that he's done this season, kind of fixing his reputation and being seen again as a top defender, has been ripped apart in 90 minutes. Because now after today, it is going to take so much for people to ever look at Upamecano the same, bro. Like, he's going to have to basically put an entire Champions League campaign front to back of elite performances for people to ever forget what we just saw yesterday. Upamecano, right, is a confidence player. Absolutely. This guy is someone that basically needs to be feeling good and like on a high to be performing at his best. I think he has good technical qualities, but he has to be feeling good. And yesterday, City's press absolutely demolished them, bro. They couldn't cope with him. And the minute that first mistake happened, it's like you said, it was a meltdown, bro. Mentally, the guy broke. And it was mistake after mistake after mistake. 2 of them, I think, led to a goal. And it's like you said, bro, it's like the ground. He basically wanted the ground to completely swallow him up. So I can't really defend Upamecano yesterday, bro. He didn't do any defending himself. The guy was kamikaze, like I said. He radiated nerves throughout the entire Bayern Munich team. And I thought they were all crap to begin with, right? Bar Sané and Sommer, who saved them a few times. They were all pretty poor. But what did Sir Alex always used to say, right? I think he said you need at least 6 players to be playing at a good level. Or I can't remember the exact number he gave. I think it might have been 6. 8 players to be playing at a good level for your team to have any chance. Bayern Munich had 8 players playing at a 0% level, bro. They were all playing 0 out of 10s. So what hope do you have? But yeah, Upamecano was the disaster class of the night.
Yeah, that was poor. But this is what I mean, though. Like management-wise, I'm not getting onto Tuchel too much because he just started at the club, and you're coming up against a well-oiled machine in Man City. But why don't managers see these things? The guy is drowning out there. Sub him off, bro. Just sub him off. Do they want to do it because they don't want to embarrass the guy? Just get him off the pitch, bro. You know what I mean? Get him off the pitch. So, listen, I keep saying, when your best players are not performing, you're struggling to have a chance. Yes, you mentioned that Fergie quote, right? But if the 3 players in that Fergie quote were Paul Scholes, Wayne Rooney, and Rio Ferdinand, you're in trouble, bro. I don't care, bro. You can carry John O'Shea, you can carry Darren Fletcher, and you can maybe carry Tevez having a bad game. Yeah, you can't carry some of your best players who you've relied on all season, your core. It's hard to do that in any team, bro.
What I will say though, Cam, I will say though this about Tuchel, and you ask why didn't he sub out Upamecano? To give credit to a manager, I think you kind of give the defender, the player, a benefit of the doubt and say, okay, can you recover from these mistakes? And basically, mentally, can you show that you're more than that? I think that's what the top center backs do. They leave those mistakes in the first half or in the past and improve as the game goes by, mentally overcome it. The problem with Upamecano was, again, he's a confidence player. The minute those mistakes start happening, the guy completely just breaks down.
Yeah, but those other poor performances, you know me, I don't talk about the young players too much, but Musiala yesterday, poor.
Over dribbled.
And the thing is, look, I hate the comparison thing, but the energy would be crazy if that was Jude, because I've seen it, and the energy will be crazy if that was Phil Foden, because I've seen it. Do you know what I mean? I hope people ain't just turning into these ones where you see a guy once in a while and then you fixate on how much you love that player and then you don't want to talk about it. But yesterday he was poor. Yeah, I mean, dribbling in the wrong areas, passing in poor passes. I wasn't impressed yesterday. However, I know he's a good player. He's young, but I've seen young players have bad games and people want to kill them. But when it's Musiala, everyone's acting like we didn't just see what happened. You know what I mean? So let's be consistent all the time, please, people.
Yeah, Musiala, I thought overcomplicated the game yesterday. Again, you talk about City's simplicity is perfect. Musiala tried dribbling way too many times, and I think on a pitch where it seemed like every Bayern Munich player was slipping yesterday. Like the pitch must have been wet, or it must have been raining in Manchester because they were all slipping. And Musiala was trying to dribble 1, 2, 3 players, kept falling at the final action.
Basically, by the way, I've seen Jude have big European nights. Have we?
How many have we seen though?
Against Man City 2 times, he had a really, really good game. Pep Guardiola even came out and said that was
a better game than Musiala yesterday. I agree with that.
Of course, Bellingham has had some good games in Europe. Also, Foden, he's had some really good games in Europe.
Of course,
you know what I mean. So at the same age, so hey, people, let's be consistent. Let's be consistent. To be fair,
Musiala, he played well against PSG last round. He played very well against Barca on the group stage. But no, I hear you. Granted, I agree with you. If Bellingham had that performance, I probably would have been the first person to be going on to him. So yeah, let's show that same energy to Musiala. But the one I want to talk about, amongst others, is Kvaratskhelia, man. This guy, bro, the entire... No, but hold on. You say people were saying no one rates him, but bro, the guy starts for Germany. He starts for Bayern Munich. Look, FIFA doesn't mean anything, but the guy, if anyone plays FIFA, consistently 87 rated, 88 rated. They're giving this guy team of the season at the end of the season. For what, bro? Because he puts on some muscle and like looks like he's on steroids. I was watching that entire performance, Cam, right? I couldn't shake the feeling that I thought I was watching Scott McTominay. The guy literally hides behind opposition players, bro. I hate midfielders who make no effort to receive the ball. They want to basically shirk those responsibilities to other players. The guy is literally like a tank, basically just walking, doing suicides up and down the pitch. I thought he was awful yesterday, and especially against City's midfield, bro, where they basically swarmed that middle of the pitch. I thought he left Kimmich on an island to basically drown. And then you look at the front. I thought Sane actually had a really good homecoming. I thought he was probably the brightest Bayern outfielder. But Gnabry, Coman, when he came on, Mane, who is absolutely physically washed in my opinion, and Mane, we'll talk about him.
Smoking man as well in the month of Ramadan. Hey.
Yeah, he's out of there. By the way, Bayern will not tolerate that kind of behavior, bro. I think Mane doesn't last past this season. But yeah, it was just a shocking display from Bayern, bro. So many players just off of it, man.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. I agree. It wasn't their day at all. But yeah, listen. When man's getting smoked in the changing room and that, I don't know what that's all about.
Your head's gone.
Listen, Mane was the one that everyone talks about is so humble. You know what I mean? And maybe Sane has got to have pissed him off like crazy, bro. You guys have pissed him off like crazy.
What did he do to make him that mad?
Bro, for Mane to smoke you,
yeah,
you must have been annoying as hell. Do you know what I mean? But Sane seems like he might be a little bit like that anyway. Do you know what I mean? And even the way Sane is talking about, they're saying, I'm unhappy. I'm unhappy in Germany now. My wife is in there. I'm just like, bro, Sane, I don't know, man. Didn't you move to the Bayern Munich because your wife wanted to be in Germany? No, bro.
What you saying? Wife hype?
Bro, spouse hype, bro. Spouse hype, bro.
What we say? We keeping it equal, right?
Bro, this is exactly. So I don't know, man. I don't know all that, but yeah, Mane, you can't be doing that, brother.
He's cooked anyways, bro. Mane, I've been saying it for 2 years now. I've been saying Mane is no longer the same player. He's been on decline. He had that little nice spell when he moved centrally last year for Liverpool, got some goals, but he hasn't been Sadio Mane now since before COVID. And I can't understand. Bayern paid 35 million for him, bro. I can't wrap my head around that still to this day why they did that, because I think he's on his way out, bro. But yeah, it looks like City will be moving on to the next round, 3-0. Really disappointed to see how Bayern basically just rolled over for them, because on paper, again, that looked like the tie of the round, and it definitely isn't. And hold on, before we actually do, this is why I said, Cam, I can't understand why they fired Nagelsmann for Tuchel at this time. I honestly do not understand it. The only thing that maybe makes sense is they saw Tuchel on the market and they didn't want any other team to get him, so they moved in early. But why didn't they just do that 3 months earlier, or like when Thomas Tuchel got fired by Chelsea? Because, bro, doing it 2 weeks ahead of playing against Manchester City, what the hell was he expected to do? He's had 2 weeks to play with his team.
It's crazy because speaking to the Bayern fans, bro, them Bayern fans, I did a Tuchel or Nagelsmann question, bro. They were all like, "We'll see." They're like, they don't know why Nagelsmann got sacked. Like, not one fan I spoke to was like, "We got Tuchel." You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they were all just like, "We'll see." Don't know why he got sacked, but yeah, we'll see. Nobody was buzzing like that. I'm not gonna lie. I spoke to at least 30, 40 fans. Not one of them at that moment were like, oh, we're gassed for Tuchel. None of them. They all said it was a harsh sacking. They don't understand it, but fair enough. And now look, 3-0 smoking. So I'm sure they're disappointed.
100. I'm going to read through some super chats before we go to the last game. Chaik Unyuki says, City are going to do the treble and 3-peat Lias. I think they might, to be honest with you. I think FA Cup is the only one that maybe we can, if Brighton or United, maybe they can catch them on a bad day. I said, how do you Chike? Go on. He's probably Nigerian. What you saying?
Yeah, do your thing, bro. Do your thing.
Hold on. No, you can't do. Hey, you can't interrupt me and not tell me how to pronounce his name.
Don't worry, man. Just carry on, bro. Carry on.
This guy's a clown, bro. They're gonna do the treble on 3-peat. I think it might. Hey, this guy, you gonna make me feel like shit now, bro. How do I say his name? This guy's a bad guy, man. So not only are you gonna laugh at the way I said his name, you're not even gonna give me the courtesy to correct him.
Carry on, man. Big him up, man.
You're a troll. John MCFC says all the Tuchel hype. Pep told him to relax, little bro. Tactically outclassed. Can't wait for Pep to win it to silence all the haters. We will be there. This one's on the Milan game. Big L's TV says ref was bad today in the Milan game. Milan should have had 2 pens, and also the bookings for Anguissa and Kim Min-jae were harsh. Yeah, we talked about that. Definitely agree. Adam says Kvaratskhelia was poor. Guy was on his poor game. Or Kvara, excuse me. Poor guy was on his ones all game. If City can get past Madrid, they'll win it all. Ziba Football says Cucurella came on, lost his man, which Chilwell had to bring down, gave away the corner for the second as well. As always, justice for Edouard Mendy. Tim AFC with a couple super chats says, also, this Mudryk transfer is looking spooky. Not even coming off the bench today. Crazy.
Not even coming off the bench. Yo, did he really get that standing ovation because of his performance? Or
did you see the compilation today was kind of like resurfacing and everyone's like, what the hell is this? And that's the game that he got a standing ovation for.
You know, Real Madrid fans, they be bored. They win so much, they just be... But at the same time, like, the whole Ukraine situation and that, they might have been applauding him for that. Do you know what I mean? No, I'm dead serious, bro. I'm dead serious. He's a Ukraine international, their star boy. They might have been clapping because, like, you know what I mean? Like, the Zinchenko situation when everyone started clapping for him, man. That's what I think anyway, bro, because that can't be for performance.
That's crazy. You might. Low-key, hey, man, I got to speak to some Madrid fans, bro. What was you thinking at that moment? They probably thought it was Modric walking off the pitch, bro. They're like...
Hey, yo, that's crazy, bro.
Tim says Enzelman's hype. Enzelman's is foul, bro. Let's stick to Enzonzi, bro. That one was a good one. Enzelman's... I'm vibing with that one, bro. He got that fat gene. Ash says all Enzo does is switch of plays, put the ball on the ground. Felix is awful. Kvara hype after a few good months was over the top, still an unknown quantity. And hold up, we got a few more as well. Free Molly says Nardo Wick toasted Davies. LOL, too easy for him. I have no idea what that means, bro. I guess Bernardo toasted Davies. I guess
Nardo Wick toasted Davies. Oh, yeah. Nardo Wick is a rapper. I just clicked it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was going to say that. I'm not familiar, bro.
Yeah. No, Nardo Wick is a rapper.
Fair enough, bro. All right, so those are the super chats. We'll move on to the last game really quickly. Inter Milan versus Benfica. My Inter moving on to the next round, it seems. Actually, you were the one who I think predicted Inter might actually beat this Benfica.
I said Inter going through, yeah.
Yeah, there you go, bro. Hey, I'm like you, bro. I'm hoping to see a Milan derby in the semifinals. I'd love to see one last big European night at the San Siro before they end up closing that down. Because, hey, they deserve it. But Inter, I would never have predicted them to beat Benfica. Benfica have been amazing this season, despite losing to Porto recently. Inter, bro, before this game, we're on a 6-game winless run. 6 games. They sit 5th in the league, and yet they're on the cusp of a Champions League semifinal and a Coppa Italia final. I bring up this Inzaghi guy, right? Simone Inzaghi. He's, for me, like the Walmart Carlo Ancelotti. In the league, he's never been that great. But in cup competitions for Lazio and even now for Inter, he somehow manages to get it done. So, hey, shout out him, shout out Inter. And shout out Lukaku as well. To respond the way he did, shout out Lukaku. What you saying?
Inter v Benfica, yeah. There's an elephant in the room, boy.
Wait, why? For me.
I'll let y'all decide, boy. I'll let y'all decide. Who plays for both? Who plays for Benfica?
Gonzalo Ramos plays for Benfica.
Not moved. I'm not moved.
Oh, okay. I was wondering where you were going with that, bro. You got to be more clear of your agendas these days, bro. Your agendas are all over the place, bro. No, bro. Ain't nobody know about your agenda of Gonzalo Ramos, bro.
They know, man. They know. Trust me. They were at me all day. Listen, first and foremost, why are you paranoid? You thought, oh shit, what have I done? What have I done?
Oh my God. I was thinking, did I say something about Gonzalo Ramos or Benfica?
You need to remember. You need to remember what you say, mate. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you wouldn't be nervous. You wouldn't be nervous. Anyway, see, I'm not moved by this Ramos guy. I haven't been moved. I said it in my striker search show. I've said it the whole time. I'm not moved by this guy. I don't
Mm.
see what's so special about him. Everyone's talking like he's like this killer and stuff. I always see him missing chances, fam. First and foremost, I always see
Really?
him missing chances. Yeah, I'm not too impressed with him.
Fair enough. I was
Like
gonna say
his
in front of
body,
goal, that's actually what I would give him, to be honest with you. I think he's actually a decent finisher.
yeah, his body's a bit as well. I'm not really. I'm not really. I'm not gonna say what I was about to say because that was a crazy pause. But yeah, I'm just not moved by this guy. He doesn't listen. Bring me Harry Kane, man. Everyone's trying to do mental gymnastics to try and dodge it. Harry Kane is the one, bruv. You know what I mean? Kane is clear of Gonzalo Ramos. Don't even try that with me today, bro. Kane is clear of that. You let him grow, man. But you guys really think that brother's gonna lead Manchester United to where I want to go? Don't joke with that one, man.
Nah, look, I would agree. What was the comparison I gave to Gonzalo Ramos? He reminds me of Luka Jovic, guys. He maybe it's the body type, maybe it's the fact that look, I think I actually disagree with Cam in that I think in front of goal he's actually pretty reliable. I think he's a good finisher, sniper, but people keep hyping up his overall game. I'm not moved by it like that much. I think he can play. Obviously, he's not just some poacher, but I don't think it's anything to like really write home about, in my opinion. So
What's so nice about it?
Huh?
Every time I ask people what's really nice about Gonzalo Ramos, no one really has an answer. If I ask you about Osimhen, you can easily answer me. If I ask you about Kane, you can easily answer me. When it comes to Gonzalo Ramos, everyone doesn't really seem to have a straightforward answer. So what's so good about him?
I think he's a really good finisher. But outside of that, I think a lot of players are good finishers. Like I don't think that's enough for me to warrant a 90 million, 80 million pound price tag. I think he's a good striker. But whatever I keep saying, I think he actually needs another year at Benfica. Nunez for me was ready last season to get a big move. I don't think Gonzalo Ramos is ready this summer to get a big one. So I agree with you. I don't think he should.
More.
Huh?
Darwin moved me more than
definitely. Darwin has more to his game though outside of the finishing. And that's why I say Ramos gives me these Jovic vibes, because Jovic was a sharpshooter at Frankfurt, guys. Let's not get it twisted. The guy was cold in front of goal, but when it comes to actually like when those chances aren't falling as freely as they were before, what are you bringing to a game? And look, I don't think Ramos is as bad as Jovic was, but he ain't moving me for that. Like he should not be in the same conversations as, like you said, Osimhen, as Harry Kane, as maybe even Ivan Toney, guys. I don't know if Gonzalo Ramos sits at the same table as a guy like that. So yeah, I'm with you. But also he's very young too at the same time. I think he's still under 21. He's still got time in his game. I don't think he's a scrub, but he's not ready right now. I agree.
Let him jug, man. Let him jug. He's not ready to beat Man United's 9, man.
That's definitely not. Definitely not.
But big him up though. Big him up. But yeah, I don't know. Something about his appearance is just kind of annoying. But I'm not even gonna get into that.
You already did, bro. You just said his appearance annoys me, but I'm not gonna get into that.
And the thing is, yeah, this is his first. I'm looking at his numbers. This is his first season going crazy, but he should come to Man United. Last season he played 46 games and scored 8. Bruv, please allow me, man. Please allow me.
You're not moved, I can tell.
No, I'm not moved.
What about Inter? You got anything for me about Inter?
To be fair, I didn't even keep. I just saw the main highlights of that game. To be honest, so yeah, I just.
So this whole Gonzalo Ramos thing is off highlights.
I looked to see what Gonzalo Ramos was up to. I flicked over a couple times, and I was just like, yeah, he's not doing anything. But full 90.
This is grade A hating, man. I watched the Inter game because I do my job. Coming on here talking about Gonzalo Ramos. I saw his highlights yesterday. All I want to say is, Benfica got robbed by the referees, bro. The referees actually robbed Benfica because 2 times, even the penalty, I think it's a little suspect, to be honest with you. When the ball deflects off one part of your body, then onto your hand, I'm always like, look, what can he really do in that situation? But I just want to give big ups to Romelu Lukaku, to be honest with you. I know if anyone watched CBS last night or if anyone saw that clip that I posted, Henri for me had a brilliant segment where he talked about like the whole situation.
Oh, is that when you were stat padding likes?
Stat padding likes? Is that what we're doing now?
Yeah, that was a stat padding likes post.
Nah.
Yeah, that was a stat padding likes.
Stat padding.
I know your game.
Big up to Henri and big up to Lukaku. Lukaku getting another penalty, scoring through. I think Inter are through, to be honest with you. And I think that's the shock for me because Benfica have been so good this year, and Inter really do not move me. But again, you talk about heritage, you talk about defensive stability. Inter have both of those in abundance. So I don't know how far it'll take them this competition, but I think it'll definitely take them to the semifinals. And after that, it's anyone's game.
Yeah, let's see, man. But hey, listen, that side of the draw sucks. First and foremost, man. They're all poor teams, in my opinion.
Oh, I'm not gonna call Napoli a poor team after.
All right, cool. They're all right. They're all right.
They're not all right, bro. This is ridiculous now, bro. If they had won tonight, we would not be calling them all right, bro.
Yes, I said they're not winning. I said they're not gonna do the madness though. They're not gonna do the madness.
I think they're just not a big name, bro. Like if Chelsea were on that side, you'd be like, okay, there's 3 poor sides in Chelsea.
Maybe. But today they showed that they're not elite. Do you agree?
You're one of those Prem fans. I've clocked now, bro. The one game that we see them in ages, now they're not elite. Napoli are a top team for me. They're a top team. They would have beat Chelsea. They would have beat Chelsea if Chelsea were on that side. I think they would have beat Bayern. Call me crazy. I think they would have beat Bayern.
Nah, not for me. Not for me. Bayern would have got them down, man.
That one trip to Munich was moving you, yeah?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. What makes them elite?
I think they're just a better team than as a team. They play better than Bayern for me. I've had my question marks about Bayern all season. That PSG thing, that'd be a little sketched out for a bit, but now I clock, bro. PSG are just ass. They're just terrible, bro. A lot of teams I think would have gotten PSG out of there. So I think Napoli, I still got faith in them, bro. I agree. They're not going to win they will not beat Real Madrid in the final. They would not beat Manchester City in the final. But anyone else, I think they can stack up against
as well, though. Like Benfica, you know what I mean? They were getting a lot of hype as well, and I said they're not it either. So I don't know, man. I guess everyone looks for excitement. You know what I mean? Big teams are not where they should be. Liverpool should be here. Chelsea are poor at the moment. United, Barcelona, Arsenal soon back. Real clubs need to come back because AC, Bayern Munich, AC, Benfica, Napoli, Inter, 6 quarters. Come on, man.
But don't you think, and again, we've been saying this, Cam, all season. You look around Europe, this is the weakest the traditional top teams have been in ages. And that's another reason why I kept saying City. I think they're going to win it this year because they're not having their greatest year ever. But again, you look at the rest of the teams, they probably have the least problems, bar maybe, and even Real are not that great to see. Real, for me, were better last year. They were better last year with Benzema and Vinicius in better form. So yeah, look throughout Europe, bro. Whoever wins it will be taking advantage for me of a really weak pool of European teams because they are not at their all-time greatest for me.
There we go. Listen, people think, if you say a team from abroad, ain't moving you, it means, oh, you don't watch them. All right, you've got the Champions League to do it. Perform, please. Why everyone acting like they would rather see this side of the draw, man? Everyone knows this is the weaker side, man. You don't have to. It doesn't make you any more knowledgeable and cool. We know this is a weak ass draw. We know the big dogs are on the left, on the Man City side. It's a weak ass draw. That quarters final side is weak. Napoli, Inter, AC Milan, Benfica is a weak ass side. It doesn't make you any more knowledgeable to admit that.
I think it's nice just because it's different, to be honest with you. I just wanted to see different draws coming out because I think we see the same time. Look, it's the 3rd year in a row we see Chelsea versus Real Madrid. Every other year we see PSG versus there was a period where we saw PSG versus Chelsea 3 times in a row. I think it's just nice to see something different. So I like that kind of aspect of it. I'm tired of seeing the same game.
It would be nice to see this. It would be nice to see the Inter, Milan, Inter AC semis. That would be kind of nice. But even then, their players on the pitch is it really giving you that vibe? I don't know, man. But fair enough, innit?
No, I mean, look, some teams we didn't even bring up. Juve, out of form. Atletico, out of form. This is really the weakest that all the traditional top teams, guys, whether you think it's big team bias or whatever, all the traditional top teams around Europe are bang out of form, bro. So again, I keep saying it. It didn't surprise me a few months ago, and it still won't surprise me now if City are just the team to take advantage of what is one of the weakest pools of top European teams I've ever seen. We got a super chat here as well. From Just Waffling says, Mane is down, but a bit reactionary with the hate. Last year, men were praising his post-AFCON run to hate on Salah. He's just off a long-term injury. I disagree, to be honest with you. I've been saying this.
Was it about you? I didn't say nothing.
Yeah, because I said Mane has been on the decline, on a heavy decline, in my opinion, since actually the year they won the title, because then the next season was COVID. And I think since COVID hit, he has been on a steep decline. I think he was awful that season. Or what is it, 2021? The first half of last season, I thought he was awful. And then Luis Diaz came in, took his place off the left. Mane got closer to goal a bit more centrally. And of course, Mane is not a bad footballer, but I think physically is really where his decline came. And I think, okay, he got some goals. He got some numbers. He came up clutch for Liverpool in big games. But it's very obvious of anyone with two eyes who's been watching Mane his entire career, it was no longer the same Sadio Mane who could pick up the ball and rip defenders while still scoring goals. That side of his game is completely gone. I wouldn't have spent 35 million on him. And everyone who's been saying this season, anyone who has even hinted that Liverpool might be worse because Mane is gone, it's not because of that, guys. There's a lot of issues at Liverpool. I don't think Mane leaving was one of them. And AFCON, I'll tell you this too. Sadio Mane was better in AFCON in 2019 than he was the most recent AFCON. It's just because his team won it this time that okay, this is why he got on the Ballon d'Or podium.
Penalties, isn't it?
Yeah, bro. He was better in 2019.
Yeah, first half of the season, Mane was getting criticized a lot. But then the second half of the season, obviously, Mo Salah's form dropped and then Mane started scoring goals. But I was saying for a long time, Mane started becoming more, goals focused, getting to the back post and all that type of stuff. It wasn't the electrifying Mane that we saw from Southampton, 16, 17, 17, 18 and stuff. So after 18, 19, where he got the golden boot, I believe, I feel like he just became too goals focused and that whole overall aspect of his game kind of went down. But I would say, though, this season he has had injuries and stuff, but he has been an underwhelming signing.
Yeah, I think physically he's washed. That might be extreme to some people, but I think physically he's nowhere near it anymore. And I think Bayern will move on. Definitely after this incident that just happened, because, bro, you can't be punching up your own teammates. That's crazy.
Yo, Mane, Mane.
Classic Zoot says, if I see Zlatan Ibrahimovic win the Champions League, I'll cry. Imagine this is the year that Zlatan finally wins.
Sorry, 1920 as well. Sorry, I didn't.
1920 when they won the league. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they won the league in 1890 for some reason. Yeah, no, 1920 as well. Yeah. Anyway, Karen.
Yeah, guys are saying I think this is reactionary. You can go on my Twitter, guys. I've been saying this for the last 2 years, bro. This ain't reactionary.
Mane is good, man. I don't think Mane is. You're saying washed. I think that's.
I think physically the guy is cooked, bro. I think he's finished. To be honest, as a top player, I don't think he's that anymore.
You're saying China?
I don't know about. Look, where does he go after this? That's the thing, because he's probably going to be on big wages. Yeah, he might do a little. He might pull a Cristiano and join him in Saudi. But yeah, I think as a top player, he's cooked, bro.
Fair enough. Europa tomorrow.
Yeah, Europa tomorrow. Man United versus Sevilla. Sporting versus Juventus. Some interesting games tomorrow. Huh?
I think I'm not that confident.
Is it because of Rash? Is it because of Sevilla? What's up?
Sevilla, man. They got heritage. We can't keep saying Bayern Munich. We can't keep saying Real Madrid have heritage in the Champions League and don't think that Sevilla don't. Sevilla have heritage in that competition. And Rash obviously is injured. Who scores goals in our team? The nearest guy has got 10 goals.
Tony Marshall came from France.
But he needs to put in a good performance after he went there, scored 1 goal, and they dashed him back out. You know what I mean? They brought out R9 for this guy.
That's true. This is Marcel's homecoming
against his former club. Imagine that. Imagine he's got a former club while still contracted to Man United. How is that possible, bro? He went on a loan, came back. They dashed him out the back door. Hey,
I think United are gonna beat Sevilla.
If our front three is Sancho, Antony, and Martial, that's slow as hell, bruv.
Yeah, it's not great.
That's slow as hell. But hey, maybe we get to see you touch, I touch football. You know what I mean? So who knows? It might work.
Let me get that. I need that.
Let's see, man. He's been good in his situations where he's come off the bench, and his minutes this season, he's been good. So we got to pin a lot on him. Sancho, rise, please. Antony, rise. We need some goals. But with that front three, I want to see. But the thing is, Ten Hag now is playing Sabitzer ahead. So that midfielder that plays in that little 10, with Martial, Sancho, and Antony, there's going to be opportunities to run in beyond them. So whoever plays in our 10, if it's Sabitzer or Bruno, you might have a chance to score some goals tomorrow. Sorry. So let's see if that works out.
Nah, facts. I think United will win tomorrow, bro. Look, I know heritage definitely comes into play. First of all, if we want to talk about heritage, United has European heritage too, bro. Like let's not pretend like we don't. Huh?
One little Europa win.
Oh, you sound like Jose now, bro.
Yeah. One little Europa win, man. One little European.
This is football heritage.
Bro, remember when we got them Muniain put us on us in a spliff?
Bilbao. Oh my, Herrera. We had Herrera looking like Xavi, bro.
Bro, so
Llorente. Oh my god.
But Sevilla play with this competition like it's life or death, man. Life or death. But no, I'm last two performances have been much better for Man United. So let's see, but let's see.
Yeah, look, I think the thing with Spanish teams against English teams these days, bar Real Madrid, is they just physically cannot cope with the English teams, bro. And I think United will outmuscle Sevilla tomorrow. The way they did Betis, the way they did Barcelona, I think they'll take care of business against Sevilla. And I think with Casemiro coming back too, I think that's another thing. We're forgetting that we have this boss in midfield. Now, can he stay on the pitch, please? Can he stay unsuspended, please? If he can, then let's remember we got one of the best in the world.
He misses the next leg. I'm watching him closely, bro.
This guy's not serious, bro.
Let's see. But yeah, as Daniel DP here says, we're on a Spanish tour at the moment. We're on a Spanish tour, so hopefully we get Sevilla up out of there. But yeah, man, I think people think it's going to be easier than it is, especially with Rash out of the team to score our goals. I don't think it's going to be as easy as people think.
Hey, I don't disagree.
We should get the dub. I expect
us. I think we'll get business done, to be honest. Sevilla are a poor team this season, heritage or not. They're a poor team this year, and I think United will get it done. Guys, I think unless you guys have any other last-minute super chats or anything you really want to touch on, I think that's all we got for you guys today. Talked about all 4 games in the Champions League. If any of you guys came in at any point of this, I'll make sure we get timestamps up so you can go check out the individual game that we talked about. But yo, great live. We had almost over 800 people in here at one point. So shout out all of you guys. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, notifications on. Me and Cam have been releasing content last few days. So if you've missed any of that, make sure to go check that out. But if not, yo, we'll be back tomorrow.
Big things coming, man. People,
yeah, absolutely.
I got a big drop coming.
Facts.
Big drop coming soon. But yeah, let's see.
Absolutely. Guys, this has been FTBL Final Whistle. We haven't done this one in a while, but FTBL Final Whistle. Myself, Lies, my guy, Culture Cams. Peace.